This is music, and this is a mystery. It's not really a mystery, it's just a bunch of stuff I picked up at iMusic, some cassette tapes, stack of CDs, some vinyl, all the good stuff. Let's start with the cassette tapes. Up first, some straight up heavy metal, Sin Starlet, Solid Source of Steel, maybe a little bit of speed metal. Not quite sure, this is a blind buy. I really like the simplicity of the cassette shell with the logo one here. The logo looks quite thrashy. And I also like the cover artwork. It looks very 80s, and that's why I went for the cassette tape version now. Kind of 30th anniversary kind of set. Armored Saint and Symbol of Salvation. Double cassette tape set because it comes with a tape that has the demos for the album, and then this tasty golden shelled cassette tape that is the actual album. It has the actual album on it, and I just picked this one up on cassette tape because it's kind of cool. So there you go. Let's turn to the CDs. Up first, I think it was in the previous video I showed you Leviathan's part 1 and part 2 of the reissue trilogy that's out on Dive Bomb Records, and I didn't really know that part 3 had already been released. I know that now, so I grabbed it. The Aggression Returns, so part 3 of 3, cult classic, East Coast, pro-aggressive power metalists, a little bit of power thrashy, and it also has Sodomizing the Industry by Scumbags on here. Not familiar with that, but I assume it's maybe the next iteration of this band. Pretty cool to have the entire trilogy. Now turning to a handful of CDs by the same artist. She's a veteran on the metal scene. She started in the 80s. Before that, I'm not sure if this is correct, I think she was in a punk band. And then she started doing metal, and she put out some really great metal albums, and then she kind of went in a more AOR direction, put out some pretty good AOR albums too, and then turned to soft rock and pop rock, and then slowly she got back into hard rock and metal, and she released an awesome progressive power metal album last year called Soar. Yeah, we're talking Mari Hamada. I've picked up a bunch of the albums that she released on her way back into the more hard-hitting style of music. So we have this one here, Mission, more to the melodic side of things. Got some hard rock, got some AOR on here, but I like AOR, so there you go. And this one here, Elan. More, I would say, straight up rock music, melodic hard rock a little bit maybe, but what I've heard sounds a bit more just like straight up kind of rock music. So I figured it will be interesting to have that in the collection. Then there's this one here, Gracia, which is a little bit more hard rock. Have some heavy metal on here too, as far as I understand. So that's pretty cool. It looks pretty cool too. And this one here, Legenda, or Legenda maybe. Hard rock, a little bit of heavy metal as well. Very glamorous look there, which is pretty cool. So there you go. And the last Mari Hamada for now is Sense of Self. Sense of Self. So still, on the more melodic side of things. So there you go. So I just decided to grab this handful of CDs, just like I said, to kind of follow the development from the poppy stuff she did back to the more metal stuff that she is doing now. And now an album that I have been sleeping on for far too long. Decided to finally pick it up, Carpe Diem by Saxon. Haven't even heard it yet. So that's, yeah. But now I have it, and I will obviously give it a listen or four. And I grabbed it because I had decided to pick this one up. The latest one, Hellfire and Damnation, which is supposed to be better than Carpe Diem, and Carpe Diem is supposed to be pretty good already. So I look forward to giving both of these Saxon albums a spin, or four. Now let's turn to the vinyl. There's a bunch of Golden Core reissues in here. So up first, this one here, Emotional Suicide. Very cool cover artwork. It looks pretty cool in the back too. I think it's somewhere between heavy metal and maybe speedy thrash metal, but I am actually not sure. It's a blind buy, and here you can see one of the problems when the shrink wrap is too tight. Got a bit of a corner bend situation here, so I will probably remove the shrink wrap immediately after shooting this. Now some death thrash, Crucifixion by Excess. You got the Crucifixion EP from 92, and you got the 89 Torment of Death demo. So yeah, some pretty early sort of borderline death metal stuff, I would say. So that's pretty cool to have this one on vinyl. Now some progressive thrash metal. Visions, Fugitives by Mekong Delta. Not their best cover artwork, and even looks a little bit grainy on this reissue, but you know, we can live with it. Looks like this on the back. I do really like Mekong Delta. Really tasty and challenging every now and then progressive thrash metal. Not the best cover artwork, like I said, but this is awesome cover artwork. Morbid Jester. And it is called Until the Battle is Won. This is awesome. I love this piece of cover artwork. Speed metal, I would say. Heavy metal, speed metal. But man, look at this artwork. That's awesome. So that's great. Now, a bit of a mystery. It is called a mystery. I have not heard this one, but Discogs classifies it as hard rock, heavy metal, and krautrock. And that's what kind of mystified me and got me intrigued as well. That's a very interesting blend of genres. Not inconceivable. And of course, there is this caveat that with Discogs, the genre specifications are not always in line with at least how I perceive what music belongs to what genres. Very often I actually disagree with the Discogs classifications, and then sometimes I find that it's spot on. But anyhow, yeah, I was very intrigued by this. I love this last one. It says Nightmare Reprise. Your LP is not damaged. Don't return it. So I think that's pretty funny. So there you go. Bit of a mystery. Up next, a lot of people I think won't like this. I don't care. Far Beyond Driven reissue Pantera with the censored cover, which I actually prefer to the original uncensored cover, the one that got banned. I think this is much cooler. This is on white and stronger than blue marbled vinyl. So it's colored vinyl. And yeah, I actually really like this album. I've liked it since it came out. Maybe not the first couple of times I listened to it. It was a bit too kind of extreme for me back then, but I quickly grew to really like it. So I decided to grab this vinyl reissue. And I know that some of the surviving members have gotten into some trouble and have offended some people and so on and so forth. doesn't take away from the fact that I think it's some pretty damn good music on here. I know there are people who don't like this album for the music as well, and I think that's fine. I also picked this one up, The Great Southern Trendkill, although I had kind of left the Pantera boat when this one came out, but I decided, you know, I'll pick it up. I did find a really cheap copy on the CD a while ago, and you know, I decided probably don't need this on vinyl, but I'll pick it up. Maybe I'll enjoy listening to it on vinyl. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up, is it called Reinventing the Steel? Can't remember, because I actually don't think that's a very good album. I do have it on CD. I give it a spin every now and then. I like some of it, but I think the production is pretty lousy. But there you go, stack of different things. Got some mysteries. We had some cool reissues and a good handful of Mighty Hamada CDs. Thanks for watching.